Oh, they got a cinematic universe for everything else. So now Godzilla came out, and now King Kong is out. So now they're gonna build a King Kong Godzilla cinematic universe. All right, here we go. Kong Skull Island. So Kong Skull Island is King Kong's side of the story. Yeah, Godzilla came out a couple years ago. Point is, enough people watched it to where they were like, let's make a King Kong movie and one day have the two fight. So now we have this King Kong movie, Kong Skull Island. Yeah, really, yeah. I do want to get into what I liked about the movie. All right, first of all, when King Kong is on screen, it's rad. Right when the helicopters go to Skull Island, they're like, all right, we need to drop these charges. You see King Kong pretty early, just as you saw him in the trailer. He starts throwing trees through the helicopters, beating the shit out of the helicopters. He's like, why'd you come to my land? He's pretty much like the old guy in the cul-de-sac who doesn't bother anybody or do anything. Chases ruffians out of the yard with a stick. That's King Kong. So now you show up dropping bombs. King Kong gets pissed. He steps outside. He's like, get off my lawn. But that's when you see him. You see him there. You see him a couple other times sprinkled throughout the movie. And then he has this big throwdown at the end and then he's gone. Generally speaking, for the majority of this movie, you're stuck with the people. Granted, I know what you're thinking. That's what they did with Godzilla. And I really enjoyed Godzilla. Because in the end, as a whole, Godzilla was a better story, told better, and although the not showing Godzilla thing pissed me off, he had a very gratifying throwdown at the end. And I liked the characters more in Godzilla. Yeah, a lot of people didn't. I'm saying the characters in Godzilla were much better than the characters in this movie. This movie, you have great actors. You have Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, Brie Larson, Toby Kebbell. Holy shit, how can this go wrong? It goes wrong from the script writing, because no one gives a shit about these people. Why are they in it? Who gives a fuck? Yeah, you're just tromping around with them, walking through the bogs and the shrubbery. It's like, you're supposed to know that King Kong's out there somewhere and that's supposed to make it worth it. It doesn't. There's even a scene where Tom Hiddleston, I don't think he's used a sword, has he? Then someone throws him a sword, he puts on a gas mask, and he is straight up ninja with his sword. All right, I guess this guy is really super efficient with a sword. In fact, in the movie, he's super efficient at everything all the time. This is one of those moments where my optimism it didn't bite me in the ass, but I'm like, hey, I was wrong. What can I say? I was hopeful and wrong. In the trailer that showed a lot of humor with John C. Reilly, a lot of people were like, that doesn't look like the humor is gonna mix well. I'm scared. And I was like, whoa, guys, come on. The humor could be good, could work. No, it really doesn't. John C. Reilly has a couple of really good moments in this movie that they showed in the trailer, and he has some other moments that don't really land, and there are a lot of other moments of humor that are attempted in this movie, not with John C. Reilly, that just don't land at all. This movie has conceptual brilliance in it, you know what I mean? Conceptually speaking, it's a neat concept to have Samuel L. Jackson's character on a witch hunt for this King Kong, so ultimately, he's Captain Ahab. Point is, you just don't give a shit, because you don't give a shit about any characters in here. Granted, in the Peter Jackson King Kong, it concentrated on the people for the majority of the movie also. Difference is, the Peter Jackson King Kong is a better movie overall and actually gave the thing some humanity. It attempted to be a fulfilling movie as a whole. This movie does exactly what you think they're going to do once they announce the fact that it's going to tie over with Godzilla, and that is, it exists for the sake of tying King Kong into a future Godzilla movie and gives you none of the fulfillment that a King Kong movie could give you. The soundtrack was good. I'll say the soundtrack was really good. Not in the it worked in the movie kind of. I don't know how many times they played a musical device to have Vietnam War era music start blaring while they're going out there looking for someone or they're trying to destroy shit. I just like, would you do that? Or would you just concentrate on the goal at hand? I don't know. All I know is when I was listening to the music, I was like, this soundtrack is worth looking into. Guys, in the end, Kong Skull Island, yeah, this one let me down. The pacing was choppy, it was shoddy, it was all over the place. It concentrated on the human characters, which should be a good thing, only the human characters who gives a shit about them. The movie could have made you give a shit about them, but it didn't. When Kong was on screen wrecking anything, it was actually really cool to watch. That was fun, but in the end, it just didn't pay off. I was just bored for the majority of this movie. The pacing sucks, and I will say Kong Skull Island's probably a better time if you're drunk. Yeah, now it's a party. Come on, dude, you're nitpicking. It has some cool throwdown shit. It did have some cool throwdown shit. It also had a lot of boring shit. I actually want to know for sure. I want someone to clock and time the screen time of King Kong in Kong Skull Island and Godzilla in Godzilla and tell me who actually has more screen time. Alright guys, so Kong Skull Island, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what monster movie do you want to see next? Rampage? They're making that, by the way. They're making that. But whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.